Okay, we'll start. The Nightfall, a short story. I think we can complete it in the next 20, 40 minutes still left to us. Comes under the genre of science fiction. This is a short story that talks about, please underline on page 480, in brief summary of the short story. A total eclipse comes every 2049 years on this planet called Lagash. Underline the planet Lagash. We are living on the planet Earth. We have solar eclipse, we have lunar eclipse. But in this planet Lagash, underline, it has 6 suns. We have only one sun. But Lagash has 6 suns. So the point is, Lagash will never have night at all. I want you to imagine those situations where you will not have night, you will have only daylight all the time. So Lagash as a planet has 6 suns, so it has sunlight all the 24 hours of the day. So the people of the planet do not know the concept of night or darkness. They only see night when the total eclipse comes. So the total eclipse is what? A total eclipse of 6 suns. So when this total eclipse takes place, obviously whenever there is an eclipse, even in a country like India, we have scientists trying to explain things scientifically, and we have cultist people, religious people trying to exploit the religious sentiments. You know how Grahanam is a very big thing for certain religious sectors of the society, Indian society. They have to wash everything after the eclipse is done. Okay. So even here you have two groups, the scientists and people from the cult. The scientists try to explain the eclipse by formulating various theories. Because now there are 6 suns. See, if you have one sun, we will say that the moon came in between the earth, all that. But if you have 6 suns, so you have to have various theories by the scientists. Cultists believe that the eclipse is a divine or a semi-divine occurrence. Okay, that is the background. You have two important characters. Come to the next page, 482. There are some key names and terms you have to remember from the story. Lagash, we have already seen. Sorrow is the place where the story is set. There is an observatory. There is an hideout, cultists, and totality. Okay. And there is a book of Revelations, the sacred book of the cultists. Underline the names. Deremon, 762. Look at the name. He is the news reporter. He comes to the observatory and he wants to interview the astronomers and scientists. And he wants to know how the scientists plan to go through the crisis. What is the crisis? Total eclipse, when there is a darkness or nightfall. For someone who doesn't know what is night, and this comes once in 2049 years, imagine. This is something very, very strange and inexplicable. So they are interviewing the director of the observatory called 1877. Everybody has a number, very strangely. Terrebonne 762, 1877. So Aiton, the director, is now in conversation with Terrebonne. And he accuses Terrebonne of spreading false news of their scientific efforts to understand the planet. And see, reporters have their own strange ways of, attacking people. So he thinks that Atom thinks that the reporters are attacking him privately also on his personal life. So the newspaper that he works for is the City Chronicle. So Atom asks him to leave the premises immediately because he's attacking him personally. However, he allows him to cover the day's events from the observatory. It's about 4 hours to darkness, and after 4 hours, there will not be any light. Gamma is the brightest of the six suns that has already set. Alpha, look at the names, alpha, beta, gamma, okay? Alpha also has set. Beta, the sun, another sun, is also slowly losing its light and is turned red. Thermon, the reporter, is wondering if this event will really take place. See, nobody lived for 2049 years to witness this event. They are all calculating and, projecting from so many things. So Theramon doubts, but Aiton says, no, it will happen. And it has already happened. It has already started because gamma, alpha, and beta are almost out. So how will this happen? All six suns will be in a straight line. So only one sun's light will be seen. And therefore, they will see that darkness. Like we have one sun, right? And therefore, we see night and light, day. So while the cultists try to mystify, the scientists try to explain the eclipse through the laws of gravitation and revolution. Cult people believe that it is not an eclipse, but Lagash is entering into a huge cave. Come to page 483. I'm reading from the first paragraph there. And they think that during this period, they can see objects called stars. And in this time, people will become mad and they lose their souls. In their madness, they destroy everything. And therefore, a new civilization is built every 2049 years. That's what the cultists believe. Scientists, logical and rational people, on the other hand, they have different theories. So you have one astronomist, Genova 41. He propounded 400 years ago that it was Lagash that rotated around the sun Alpha. And it was not until 20 years ago that the theory of universal gravitation was proved and demonstrated. And it was possible for Lagash to have six suns. So at this observatory, they are doing a number of experiments, calculating many things concerned with their planet Lagash. And they found that the sun alpha was slightly or different. Something was different, missing. So they are trying to come up with different formulas and hypotheses. Aiton thinks that though the cultists try to have an explanation for this problem, they do not have the information because they don't have the theories, the logic. Shireen narrates to the journalist that there could be a planetary body which, if it were blue in color, would drown out the entire red color. See, they are all trying to find out and put things in place. How is this possible? So somebody says there is a blue planetary. If there might be a blue planetary body, and it is drowning the red color, and therefore it is not visible. And we find all these people conflicting with each other. How does this happen? All six suns being one behind the other at one time. So, which is closer to their planet Lagash? They think the moon is at the shortest distance. Okay. And during this crisis, when all five suns are eclipsed and six suns don't give their light, okay, they have a hideout, escape, a place where they can hide. Remember, the cultists believe that in this dark time, that night time, nightfall, as they call it, because suddenly it becomes dark, people don't know what is happening, they become mad. That is what the cults believe, that we destroy our own civilization in this mad, dark hour. So scientists have now built up a place where they can hide and come out after the eclipse is over. But the public have mostly rejected this idea and they refuse to come out of the hideout. Only the faculty of the Saro University, their immediate families, and a few family convinced people from have gone into the hideout. They have stored food, water, weapons, and certain things that they can be saved for the next cycle. The scientists plan to take photographs when the total eclipse takes place. They want to take all this and show it for the next generations. An argument between Shireen and Thermon about what happens when the darkness comes, because it's the first time they are seeing this darkness. Probably they never had this concept of lights also, artificial darkness, because we have nighttime and we have Edison and the invention of the lights and bulbs and whatnot. But imagine when they never had night, when they never had the need for light, artificial light. So in this hideout, it will be dark. So it's like a dark cave. There is no light. So Theramon suggests that the coming eclipse might be like living in a dark cave with no light. They are talking about many things. They call it as one of the attractions is the Tunnel of Mystery, their exhibition. Okay. People who took the ride came out of it breathless, shaking with fear. When you go to some, Disneyland or, some of these adventurous places. What was that? Um, some places you have these dark tunnels where you go into pitch darkness. Okay? So they try to give people an experience of this darkness by coming up with an exhibition where you have a tunnel of mystery. Though there are safety measures when people go through this tunnel, dark tunnel, still people get very scared, and a couple of them even died. So they call it as the fear of darkness, claustrophobia. Faro and Emo, these two people, without the knowledge of Aiton, the director of the lab observatory, and the other scientists, okay, without their knowledge, they carry out an experiment to simulate the coming of the eclipse. They experiment and they cover an abandoned building in black velvet to block sunlight. They want to experience how the sun darkness would be. So they made tiny holes at the roof in order to allow light. The entire building would be black, and at the top, the holes would appear as tiny stores. This reminds me of our planetariums. Remember, I hope all of you have visited the planetarium at least once. It's a lovely feeling because those of us who are living in the cities, we don't get to see the stars. But if you go and sit there, you get that feeling. So, Leo, అందులో చేసుకోమని అంతవరకు Leo. So, sorry, I'm sorry for that. So the planetarium gives us that experience. So these two people, Faro and Emo, also build something like that. But this experiment did not give them that feeling of darkness. So just as the scientists were discussing the experiment and its results, a member of the cultists is captured in the observatory trying to destroy the photography equipment. Look at the clash between the cultists and the scientists. So this is the who has destroyed is a Latimer. And here the conversation takes place between Atom and Latimer. Atom is very angry with Latimer for his behavior. Then Latimer accuses Atom of taking the data that the cultists had with them. And how scientists are trying to reason out and show this as a natural phenomenon, while the cults people try to show this as a supernatural phenomenon. So Atom wants to call the police and hand over Latimer. Shireen wants to suggest that instead of being handed over to the police, he should be put in a locked up cabin in the observatory. A lot of confusion is taking place in the observatory. And Beta slowly begins to disappear and darkness falls. Aiton shouts at his men that with all the commotion, they had not seen how the actual eclipse begins. Everyone in the room, I want you to imagine now and get into the sense of it. Everyone in the room grows pale and fear starts to set in on them. At this juncture, Latimer begins to sing a song and chant a portion from the book of Revelations, that is their holy book. Okay? He continues to chant it until he becomes unintelligible to the scientists. Beta begins to sing further and further and goes into eclipse. Theremin asks Shireen about the book of Revelations and how it continues to go from one cycle to another cycle. And they are trying to explain that there are three types of people. Okay. See, what did they believe, the cultists? The cultists believe that every 2049 years, civilization and culture changes. How that is being now explained. So what is there in understanding for the cultist? Three types of people are not affected by this darkness. One is under the age of 6. Because under the age of 6, people, it's not true, we all know, think that people below 6 can't distinguish between light and darkness. So here it's not a question of literal light and literal darkness, but maybe it's a question of metaphorical darkness and ignorance. Okay? Knowledge and ignorance. Second kind of people are the mentally challenged people. Their mind, they can't, mentally challenged people, and those who have drunk themselves. Drunkards, that means those who are not mentally in their senses, mentally correct. They will not understand what an eclipse is. Third, people who are too strong to let darkness have any effects on them. So these are the three people who will continue into the next cycle of culture and civilization.
Ma'am, what is the third one, ma'am? Those people
who are very strong, who will not allow to be disturbed or to be affected by the darkness. These are the ones who will enter the new cycle. That means they are already so strong, so nothing affects them in a negative manner. They will not be destroyed. And that is how the book of Revelations, according to the cultists, this is how the culture is preserved, a new cycle is formed, but this is written and edited and written and rewritten and rewritten. So ultimately, nobody knows the actual truth. Okay. Anyway, what is happening now during this nightfall that has begun? Some people have sealed themselves in the hideout with food, water, and other supplies that will last till the end of the eclipse. On the other hand, cultists want to destroy the observatory. They are just 5 miles from the building where the scientists are holed up. The scientists hope that the totality or full eclipse comes first before the cultists go on destroying. Scientists begin to discuss. Okay? And darkness keeps falling. Beta, the last of the 6 suns, keeps disappearing, and it leaves Lagash without, I'm reading the last but one paragraph. It is leaving the Lagash without light and heat. And the cultists are approaching the observatory in order to burn out. Look at the climax that is taking place. On one side, the sun is totally setting. I should say the 5th sun, the last sun. And darkness is gradually increasing. And cultists are coming to the observatory to burn it. Scientists grow weak and try to run to their hideout. And as the total eclipse begins, and people are trying to take photographs, Latimer, the cultist, dies. The others in the room try to be sane in utter confusion that prevails. And then everyone sees the miracle of the 1,000 stars in all their glory. Okay. So what is it that the most important thing that we should talk about when it comes to the nightfall? There are other things you can read up for yourselves, but I just want to discuss this most important question of the, see, science fiction has emerged as one of the latest genre in the modern times. Of course, we had Frankenstein. Remember Frankenstein? Mary Shelley's. Okay, so people did try to come up with some science fiction, and despite all the advancements that human beings have made, there is this conflict between rational people, that is scientists, and people who are almost like the cultists. So Isaac Asimov is trying to give us the contrast between, or the conflict between, scientists and cultists. While scientists are trying to rationalize and help us look at the natural phenomenon and explain through the laws of nature and physics and geography, the logical scientific experiments, cultists, on the other hand, are people who bring in divine or semi-divine things unnecessarily into a natural phenomenon. I'm not denying the fact that there is divine. Divine element is there. God is there. But God is there, He has kept certain things in order. But what is kept in order, if you try to bring too many things unnecessarily there, it will bring a lot of fear in people. See, for example, okay, let me complete. Yeah, for example, um, even during this COVID, unfortunately, I hope you remember, at least some of you have seen that clipping where in India, people tried to do all kinds of ceremonies. There was that cow dung ceremony, not ceremony, cow dung therapy. They thought that if you apply so many things on your body, this virus will stay away. Virus is being now explained so scientifically from the past 2 years, almost at least. This virus we are talking about, not other virus. So every virus has a scientific explanation, even cancer cell, cancer. How does cancer take place? One cell that goes wrong in our body, that begins to attack, right? But if somebody tries to bring in rituals and all that in, I'm not saying you should not pray. Prayers are important. God can control.
God does know what he's doing. So Isaac Asimov is trying to bring us and present to us the conflict between, the contrast between science, scientific people, and the cultists. The cultists believe that there is an apocalypse. This is what is on the last page, 487. Okay, cultists believe that this is the end of the world. So Isaac Asimov is talking about the contrast between science and cult, darkness and light, rationality versus religion, scientific analysis versus blind devotion to religion. When scientists come to our rescue, cultists try to destroy our confidence. Sometimes. Okay. But because Aiton has the data with them, he consults them and asks them to go to their precious books. They agree, and Aiton and his scientists go about doing their experiments. But the cultists also have some books and material with them. But that is written by their own self. There is no logical proof for that. There is no written data. There is no evidence. So ultimately, it is the scientists who prevail. And they formulate the theory of how things go around in the natural orbit of the world, how there are galaxies, how there are revolutions where celestial bodies go around each other. Okay. So I'll take a break. You also get a 10-minute break before your next session begins. I'll stop here. You can leave, take a break, and then get back to your 11 o'clock session.